Hey fellow Vault Dwellers, it's Angry Turtle, and today I have for you a combat turret update and turret performance update. As you can see, those turrets are doing quite well defending against a Scourge Beast, and thanks to new building rules, it is actually possible for them to see everything well and engage targets correctly. And the biggest surprise for me, the rocket turrets. They do hit targets now. So you can see by this Scourge Beast flying around, the target is correctly engaged and is taking damage, and majority of the shots is firing, even though those rockets are not homing missile like from your missile launcher that you can install targeting computer, but they do hit quite accurately. And now, thanks to the fact that camp can be placed however you like to place it, it is possible to engage targets around the fissure sites and anywhere else. Perfect synergy with a sniper build. You can manually snipe targets, or you can go for the turret kill. Those seem to be too far for my camp to engage, but my sniper is absolutely in range. So what do you need to know about the turrets, what works, what doesn't work from my recent testing? So first things first, Demo Expert no longer seems to do anything. It used to in the past, but now it's no more. Now the bonus damage for your turrets is tied with Home Defense perk. So if you want to run a combat camp, Home Defense perk is important. It is increasing your damage of your turrets, and that's the only really perk that do work. Some people claim other perks may work, but I did test and I equipped Grenadier. I cannot see any difference in radius of my explosions. Regardless what weapon I'm holding, weapon effect doesn't seem to carry over to my turrets. Therefore, I would risk it to say that none of your character stuff and perks affect turrets. They seem to be completely independent. Home defense is the only one to work. Now about turrets themselves. There is a bunch of turrets and they do perform differently. So I do have those floating rocket turrets here, but there is more defenses available and what works, what doesn't. So testing turrets. The cryo turrets from Rip Daring season, they do freeze the target. So if you want to slow down the target, works very well, do not require any power, and do almost no damage. So that's unfortunate. Then we do have a heavy laser turrets, and they do a little bit of damage, and do decent damage if you have Enclave variant. So still, Enclave turrets perform better from my testing than a regular turrets. Regular are all of those. Enclave have 2 barrels on all those turrets, so they fire twice as much, and that's how they do twice as much DPS. That applies to all turrets when Enclave mode is available. Then, heavy machine gun turrets do something. It's not like nothing, they do something, but their performance is worse than heavy laser turrets and much worse than rocket turrets. The regular laser, that's a weak one. Then regular machine gun turrets, weak one again, doesn't do much. The missile turrets, they do very well damage. Even the regular variant is doing decent damage. The regular variant will be comparable with heavy laser Enclave turret. And absolute domination if you do have missile turret from Enclave. You are able to see them in action already on the Scourge Beast. Those are the winners. The shotgun, too little range to do anything particularly useful with them. Best one, missile turret. If you don't like explosions, heavy laser turret. If you do have Enclave option for those turrets, they are the best. Now, if you plan to build camp like that, what's important as well, Repair Bot is doing very good job keeping those turrets from breaking. But even if they do break and you want to use combat camp and you don't want to spend resources on those turrets, moving the camp doesn't, like, if you move the camp and place again turrets, you do not pay for the repair. So that's a free repair if we move it over to a new place. As well, you can blueprint everything, including structure like that with the generator on the middle and turrets around. You need to space rocket turrets quite a bit, because if they hit themselves, those rockets will blow up next to the turret, and you don't want that. You want them to be able to release the rockets. It's not a perfect circle. You could work on a more perfect circle. But yes, the blueprint is possible. You can blueprint it all if you go under Modify, select Blueprint, and then you just select piece by piece, and it will place. I will show you now. We'll move the camp. Okay, I have that already blueprinted. Let's exit that. Let's move to a different Fissure site. Let's go for this one. So placing camp in new location, very important. Make sure the camp selected is the one that you made your war camp, and you do not accidentally destroy the camp you are using. So we're choosing the camp module and we'll be moving it. We need to find a spot when the camp module is placeable, usually a little bit farther away from the Fissure site, but in range. The rocket turrets have quite a bit of range. And, oh, I almost forgot, there is a magazine that can boost your turrets. So that's the only other thing outside of one perk. There is one magazine that boosts the turret damage. And that's called Backwoodsman 10. 50% workshop and turret damage. So maybe I popped that in here, so you'll see. With the magazine, I mean, it's not a huge difference because we already have a 100% damage from the perk, but it may help a little. So let's pop it. Now, let's place the camp. Oh, I already did one mistake. I wait too long. You should place as soon as possible your segment with the freezer. And yes, you can place it floating. Now everything can be placed floating for safety purposes. Enemies cannot climb if that's a war camp. The freezer, you can see there is a freezer there. That's incredibly important to be placed as soon as possible. All the time that it's not placed, the food is spoiling. Now we go under our blueprinted category, and I do have, and there it is, rockets. I do have rockets here. Sometimes you need to scroll towards yourself, and it was placing under the ground, so I was not seeing it. Pull towards yourself a little bit. Place it high enough so they can be above the trees up to the most part, and start hitting the Scourge Beast that's flying around. It will take them a second to get the target, to acquire the target. Let me try to get... Oh, there it is. We try to get higher, so you'll be seeing this combat better. And I cannot jump on my camp. Come on, jump! Yeah, if you place it too high and you have no jetpack, it can be a problem. If you want credit for a kill, you need to put at least one shot in, or you will get no credit for a kill. So at least one shot to tag the target. If turrets kill alone, you will have no credit for the kill. As you can see, they do obliterate the Scourge on the ground, as I'm not getting any experience for that. And that's the performance. Like, they make it rain. They make it rain. The rocket turrets, absolute devastation. The best defenders. I would show you the Reaper bot in action, but I don't think this Scourge Beast actually hit any of those turrets. So if any turret was hit, nope, nothing. So they in perfect condition. And I like the generator floating on the middle. Enemy seems to ignore it. If anything, they attack the turret, and the repair bot will be repairing it. It's the first time ever that combat camp can be used without the need to repair the turrets mid-fight. So somehow, with the recent patch, those rocket turrets received improvement, and they do great. Maybe that's because they're floating, so nothing underneath is blocking the line of sight of those turrets. Is that the big thing with Fallout? The line of sight, and floating turrets have a perfect line of sight. Maybe they don't look perfect and natural in its environment, but that makes them work. The fact they float freely makes them work very well. How well will they work if you build some fancy spaceship and attach them to that? This part I don't know, as they will be hitting whatever is next to them and blowing up their own rockets. That's why floating and spread out work very well, and other combination do not work so well. And that's what I wanted to showcase, the update about the war camps. Let me know if you ever try those, and if you are tempted to give them a shot. And that being said, thank you all for watching, and see you all in the next one.